Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
Let go and let love, sister. Oh, let go and let love. You know, that'll often be the saying of let go and let God. I don't care what you call the divine. God, source, universe, love, the all. You know, and listen, this is not a conversation about religion or belief or anything like this, but there is an order to our earth, to the universe, to you. Just like there's an innate intelligence built inside of you that controls everything and all that function, and it all works together in this perfect symphony and harmony and balance and wants you to be healthy. There is an equal intelligence, order, balance, harmony, externally, if you will, outside of you, that wants you to be healthy. And we're going to define healthy from being in a state of love. Now, that's different than being in love, but a state of love. And there's essentially two states and ways of being you can be in, and they can be shown in different ways. They can come up as different types of emotions, but it's either love or it's fear. Course in Miracles talks about this. A lot of spiritual texts talk about this. There's love or there's fear. You cannot be in both those states at the same time. Love is also going to be in places like it's going to manifest or come out as joy or happiness or gratitude, beauty, love. Fear is going to come out with things like shame, blame, anger, resentment, hurt. Listen, I'm not saying that you should never be afraid, you should never feel fear, you should never feel shame or guilt or any of that kind of stuff. It's going to happen. Jealousy, it's going to happen sometimes. But it's this understanding that I'm feeling, sensing, knowing more and more that our default mode, the factory default mode, is love. It's love. It's love. And although you might think it has something to do with what's happening outside of us, right? Our external circumstances, what someone said or doesn't do we get our needs met in relationships or not? Are things working out the way we want to in business and career and with money? Are our kids listening to us? Do we have friends that support us? Is our body functioning and giving us energy and healthy and well? So we think that all these things, that being in love or fear, is dependent upon what is happening outside of us. And the truth of this is, sister, the truth of this is that it is independent of what's happening outside of you. And let me explain this. You may know someone or have known of people who, money is often considered that, well, if I had this money, everything would be great. Well, I know you might think that, but I also know, and you might know people that have a shitload of money, have nothing to worry about as far as money, yet they worry about it all the time. All the time. Health. You can also have somebody they take care of their body, they eat, really good foods that nourish their body, they move their body on a daily basis. Physically, you can see the results of that. They get enough sleep, but they obsess about it. And they obsess about it because they're so afraid of getting sick. Like their focus is on that lack of health. And I do everything I can to make sure I don't get sick, that I don't get a disease, that I don't get cancer, that I don't. But yet they can be the specimen of health, someone you might see and know their health habits and how they invest in their health on a regular basis, and go, man, that's the metric. Like that's the pedestal. This is what I'm striving for, is what that person has. And yet for them, they have all the external stuff. For that first example, they have all the external stuff that you would think they'll go like, oh, well, they don't have anything to worry about with money. But yet inside, they think that inside they are broke. Inside, they envision themselves as being completely unhealthy and overweight and, not enough. So the external can be there, and yet internally, we are in a state of fear, lack. Now, it can also be the opposite. You can have someone who's not in the greatest health and maybe hasn't made the best choices. Or maybe, there were life circumstances like they were born with birth defects or, missing a limb. They had a car accident, that dramatically changed their health and everything. But yet, they are the most grateful people that you've ever met. You can equally have somebody who perhaps is a janitor, not making a lot of money, maybe even like a teacher on teacher's salary, doesn't have the money, but they're the richest person in the world. They're grateful. They're in a state of love. They're choosing it. They're choosing it. And, every single day, every single moment, we have a decision to make, a choice. Will I react and respond to the external things that are happening outside of me that a lot of times I actually cannot control? And I'm trying to, but I can't. Other people, circumstances that are beyond our control, that kind of stuff. And am I going to base the state I choose to show up in love or fear based on what is happening outside of me? Or am I going to choose in spite of? Am I going to choose these things regardless of what is happening outside of me or with other people or, or we could go on with examples, right? In other words, my choice to be in love or fear, I can choose to not let it be dependent on those things. The things that I cannot control. The things that I cannot choose, but I can choose my state. And that's hard, isn't it? It's easy to talk about this theoretically. It's easy to. It's hard to put it into practice. Listen, I struggle with it too. I struggle with it every fucking day. And sometimes I do a better job with it, and sometimes I don't. And to be honest with you, today, I'm struggling with it. I'm really struggling with it. Which is why I'm speaking this to you. Which is why this is coming through me to share this message, because it's real. I get it. I get the struggle. I get the striving. I get the, trying so hard to get it. Been there, am there, all of that. But there comes a point where you just, there's surrender. There's surrender, right? Which is, let me just let go and let love in. Or let me just let go and let God. Let me realize that as much as I can still hold the vision of the things that I truly want, the things that I see, the things that maybe you actually have visions about, like you've seen these things happen. It's beyond the wanting that I need to have. It's beyond that. You literally have this knowing deep down inside of you. I get this. Of like, this is what is right and true. I feel it. I sense it. I might even make decisions based on that knowing, and other people might go, what are you doing? Because I know what I know. I know what I feel. I know what I sense. And I continue to move forward in spite of. But even if you have support from others, even if other people see you and go like, that's it, keep going, like, hang on, you got this, I'm here for you, I'm here with you, you will still have those moments in the day where you go, what the fuck? And maybe then you'll choose fear, you'll choose ego, you'll choose blame, you'll choose to beat yourself up. So if there's any message for you to hear in this today, perhaps it is this. Understand that it's always about choice. It's always about choice. We can choose. I can choose, you can choose, we can all choose. And so you can choose to let go and let love in and surrender. Not giving up, by the way. Surrender. Which is letting go of that grip, that holding on so tight. We can choose that. Or we can choose to go to stories and fear and shame and guilt and all of that stuff. So it is a choice for me and for you and for us every single day. So here's your more tip for today. This is not to journal. This is just for you to marinate, to ponder, to think upon. What am I choosing right now? And listen, it doesn't mean you just go, I choose, and then suddenly everything like changes in life. Like it is almost like a discipline, right? Of saying like, listen, I'm aware that this is happening. I'm aware this is a challenge. I'm aware that this is the thing that is not going the way that I thought the thing was going to go. But I'm going to choose just in this moment, right? In this moment. Like a moment at a time, a minute at a time, an hour at a time, a day at a time. I'm going to choose. And if there's anything that you have control over, if you will, let's use that word control loosely, in a positive way, it's that. It's being able to choose in each moment. So, finishing up, sister, 2 things. If you're not already in the Facebook community that I created about 5 months ago called The Journey to Feminine, I want you to go there right now. Go into Facebook, type in the search bar, The Journey to Feminine. You can join this beautiful group. There's about 300 women in there so far. A private Facebook group, by the way. And also, if you do not already have The Woman Who Wants More limited edition journals, there's about 65, 70 or so left. You can head over to drkarenosburn.com/free journal. So that's drkarenosburn.com/free journal. And I'll be happy to send that your way. Take a little bit of shipping, and I do all the rest. So I will talk to the next episode, sister. A life of more is one step away of you letting go and letting love in every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosburn.com/newsletter.